So one of the things we've heard about in the news lately is generative AI. It's become all the rage in the last year. I would say the last year we've seen programs like Dolly, these image generators generated by artificial intelligence. It's really becoming all the rage and sort of overturning creative industries out there, and it's only getting more sophisticated. We just had Chat GPT released, and undoubtedly one of the most powerful chatbots we've ever seen, but it does much more than that, obviously. It can actually create articles and headlines, just insane where things have gone in the last couple of years. Things are really starting to sort of pick up steam, and I would say, I don't think I would have said this 10 years ago. 10 years ago, I would have said things just seemed kind of like things were just we were just going day by day, and I couldn't really see anything dramatically changing. But in the last couple years, I can say 10 years from now, I think this world's going to be a very strange place. We're seeing huge advances in robotics, artificial intelligence, automated cars, just massive advances to the point where we're going to see. I'm not saying we're heading to singularity, but things are going to get very strange. But the point of this video is sort of talk about generative AI and virtual reality, because really, I think those are going to start going hand in hand. When we talk about those, we'll be talking about them sort of in the same sentence. That's where I see this sort of going. And in case you're not aware of generative AI, it's generative AI. It's basically artificial intelligence creating sort of its own content. So you put in some parameters, say I want this, and it goes out and does it for you. So if you have an image of a forest and you say you want an elf in that forest, it'll put together its own image based off what it can find out on the internet. So and this is opening up a whole Pandora's box of copyright. Can you copyright an AI work? These will all have to be worked out in the courts. That aside, though, I think it's an extremely exciting time for virtual reality and generative AI. And I could see in 10 years, you could put on a headset. It'll be photorealistic, where you could have, probably 8K. They might even have 16K. It will almost be indistinguishable. It'll look just like reality. It will cause you to ask yourself what is real and what is not. I think it'll be that powerful. Now, whether it's fully immersive is another story. I'll get to that in a little bit. You'll need the five senses, I think, covered. But I do see generative AI and virtual reality working sort of hand in hand, going together. And where I guess I'm going with this is, I think it will be more attuned to what you want in terms of, let's just start with gaming, but obviously there's many other applications for virtual reality, but let's just talk about the gaming sector. It could be huge. Let's say you want to go to circa 1980s, and you want to be driving down the highway in a sports car in California. You tell the AI that's what you want, it'll do it. It'll build it for you, and then you'll start driving that car, and it'll be just like 1980s. It will play all the music from 1985. Let's say it was 1985 and nothing before. Or I'm sorry, nothing after. It will be just as if you're in 1985, and it will build that entire world for you. That's how powerful this is going to be. And maybe you want to add a flavor of a murder mystery to it, and it will build that for you. And so where I guess I'm going with this, will be completely customized. So whatever you want, whatever type of game you want, it'll build it. And that will be your game. I think it's going to be completely customizable and very powerful. And if we look at this home environment, by the way, they got that mirror over there. That's interesting. That's actually new. I hadn't seen that before. Oh, they just added this. Okay, this was update 47. Wow. Edit your avatar. Oh, look at that. This is where this is going. This is only going to get more and more powerful. But back to generative AI. I think that, we're just in the beginning stages of this. So, it'll create entire movies for you, but you will participate in that movie. I guess that's what I'm also trying to say, is you'll be a participant in that, and based off everything you want. If you want to be in Havana in 1950, it'll build out that whole thing for you. And you could add, if you want a science fiction element to it, it'll build it. And that will be your game. And so, we have this Oculus home environment here. That's what's probably going to become more and more powerful. Your home environment will be your game, whatever you want. You'll just build it and it'll do it for you. Now, obviously, there'll be, there obviously will still be games that are developed. And I'm sure that won't quite go away, but I do see artificial intelligence playing a much greater factor in that. Not 100%, but it could be 70, 80%. And there could even be an application, and probably will be an application, where it'll just be whatever you want. It'll be 100% driven by AI, and will build whatever type of scenario you want to be in. So it's truly exciting times. I do believe. I think this is very exciting. Now, there's obviously the dangers out there that you have with anything AI. There's obviously those have been well discussed about it might wipe out humanity. I might actually do another video on that. I don't see that happening, but it's certainly something we have to be cautious about. But the future in the next 10 years, this future with generative AI and virtual reality is extremely, extremely exciting. And I think it's going to be a huge game changer in terms of games, but it will be prevalent, I think, in all aspects of life. Now, the thing I was talking about before, about how immersive this can get, I think where this is going is, obviously the visuals are the first that are becoming more and more immersive. This is just the Oculus Quest 2, but this is going to get even greater. I think in 10 years, like I said, I think minimum you'll have 8K. They might even have 16K by then, but probably 8K minimum. And they'll also have full eye tracking, so everywhere it'll allow them, basically wherever you move your eye, that will be the part that's in the most focus. So that too will make it easy to make more efficient games, put in greater graphics. That will also be important. But in terms of the immersiveness, I think obviously, so they've got the visuals down. Obviously, the sound. I think those are the two biggest ones. But the three other big ones, obviously, touch and feel. That's being done in haptics. That's in its very early stage. I think that will be much more advanced. You have today the Tesla suit, which I last heard ran for $15,000 or $20,000, but that'll come down in price, and you'll have more. So I think those will be I can see that coming, where touch will be extremely immersive. You probably won't have controllers anymore, or if you want controllers, I guess you could have them, but it'll all be virtual. You'll probably have virtual workspaces. You won't have keyboard, mice. We'll probably look at that as just, wow, what were we using those for? It'll all be within sort of a virtual environment. The other two, obviously, I think are going to be a little bit later, and those are going to be the interesting ones: smell and taste. Now, I know there's some actually early research going into those, and there's been some people that have developed some smells. If you think about it, it's one of the most important senses we have. There's, I don't know how many millions, if not billions, of type of smells that are out there. So that'll be something that will need to be worked on. The most immersive, though, that you could possibly get, and this I think we're the farthest away from. This is decades and decades. This isn't 10 years out. This is 30, 40 years, maybe less. I don't know. Things are advancing. It could be 20 years. But, this stuff that Elon Musk and these people are doing with Neuralink is very interesting. And once they decode all of these, basically hack into the brain, now that brings its own sort of problems. But I do believe that they eventually will get there where you could put on a headset and be completely immersed through a Neuralink. It would be a chip, actually, not even a headset. They put a chip inside you, and you couldn't get a greater level of immersion than that. Eventually, that's definitely going to become a factor. But I think that's farther out, not 10 years, probably 20 years. Anyways, nice talking about this. If you guys have any comments, please put them in the comment section. I'd be more than happy to take a look at them and see what you guys think about all this.